What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Out here going to do a little bit of a tackle tip for you, and this is one that I recently saw on YouTube done by Randy Blockett. However, I think the way that I do it is a little bit better, just in the sense that it will hold up better over time because your inside of your tube jig trailer, which is what I'm going to do, will hold up a lot better just because this innard is glued in there versus just stuck in there. So, with that said, what I'm going to be doing is making a tube a jig trailer. Now, how you go about doing this is you grab a pair of scissors, take it to the top of your tube, and just cut that little bit off the top there. Now, you want to make this as flat as you can get it because it's going to rest up against the back of your jig and you don't want your skirts all sticking out all wonky. So, you go and get yourself a stick worm, not a trick worm, which is what he used. Not to say that that's wrong by any means. That'll work great. But this, I like the Senko because if you stick it up in there, it's a thicker bodied worm and it's going to hold a lot better on the inside of the tube just because there's more resistance. So with that said, you flip your tube upside down, take your Senko, wet it, go straight on into the back section of the tube till your tip pops out right there. You grab that and you pull and slide that down in there. Now, the next thing that I like to do is take my tube and roll it down on the Senko. Trying to show you the best I can here. So it's turning the tube inside out. Now the reason that I like to do this is because I'm going to put glue on the worm here. When I slide the tube back down over this, it's going to hold a lot better. But I don't use super glue. The glue that I like to use is called Mend It. Now this is a soft plastic glue that actually bonds two pieces of plastic together. Like it melts it somehow. I don't know what's in it, but I know it works really, really well. So for you big swim bait guys out there who like to throw some big soft plastic swim baits, if you get one that's all torn up from a pike or just from bass chomping on it in general, you can go in with that stuff, put it in those slices or cuts or cracks and melt it all back together and fix your big swim baits, because we all know those are not cheap. So with that said, that's a great product, especially if you guys just want to tinker with tackle like I do all the time. So with that said, pull your little brush out. It comes with a brush kind of like nail polish does in a sense. And you put it on there, and you want to get it on fairly quick because this stuff does dry and melt really, really fast. So you get it on there, take your tube and grab it, start rolling it back down on there as quickly as you can get it. Twist it down and just like that. So you end up with the glue on the inside holding the Senko to the walls of the inside of the tube. So you're just going to get a lot better hold that way versus just sticking this Senko up in there. You can do this, it will work, but you're going to go through a lot more if you just put the Senko in there without any glue. Now, come get your scissors here, cut the tip of your Senko off, flip it over. You can already see that glue's already starting to grab onto them little tentacles down there. Cut the bottom section of the Senko down just about to where those tube tails fold over. The last thing you want to do is get some more glue. Now you can try this with super glue. I have not. I'm sure it will work, but you're going to have to let it dry obviously longer than you will this stuff before you can throw it on the back of a jig and go fish with it. So with that said, you get your soft plastic glue here, your Mend It, your super glue, whatever you want to use. Like I said, I really do prefer this Mend It stuff just because I know it melts plastic so well. Get you a brush full of that glue and go right on the top and melt those two pieces, or mend those two pieces of plastic together with this material. Really get it on there. Just make sure your stuff's going to hold. You can go and put some in the bottom here. I usually do a little bit because I don't want to mess with the action of the actual little tube tentacles. And the more glue you put on there, the more stuff is going to mend together. So just barely put a little bit on there. And let it sit there for about 2 to 3 minutes. Now I already did this ahead of time and built one and threw it on the back of a flipping jig. So with that said, that's what it's going to look like. Just a very interesting, big, bulky profile on the back of your jig that's going to look like our bluegill up here. So if you guys want to try this, I highly recommend flipping it around some bluegill beds and stuff like that. Just a big profile. I mean, I have not thrown this in the pre-spawn at all yet, but I'm sure that's when this bait will shine right here just because of how big that profile is. So, with that said, if you guys like this video, drop a couple comments down there. Let me know what's going on. If you guys want me to do anything different, just let me know, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.